Hello. Looks like we're live. Um, had Facebook automatically going on live, so that may have been a little early. But I'm live streaming on Facebook and YouTube, hopefully. Check that right now. And also, I've had a podcast going for a month or so, and or a new podcast. So I'm actually live streaming on that podcast as well. So, a couple of things. Hoping to gain some insights today into what folks are currently working on or interested in on guitar, and whether it comes to tunes or technique or anything really relating to the guitar. And I'll share a little bit about some things I've been kind of interested in myself. So I've been investigating the idea of melodic structures, and we've been talking about that quite a bit in the member area, touching on it anyway. And so that's kind of the idea that you could take a say in G, you could take maybe a 4-note grouping. So let's say we have a G triad, and we add a whole step between the root and the third there. So you can have that, and you could just kind of apply that to a G chord, for example. So you might play something like that, something like that. So we have like kind of a 4-note grouping, and you can mix it up into different combinations or orders, and one thing that I find kind of nice about it is that it has a sort of an open sound to it, especially when you get to the distance between this note, let's say, and the note. So kind of a fourth there. So that's been something I've been a little bit interested in myself, just kind of pursuing. You could make some alterations to it, like lower the 9, go to a make it more of a 5-1 kind of thing, something like that. And you can really kind of expand it in a lot of different directions. And then on the minor, you might have like this kind of thing, where it's kind of like the first 4 notes of the pentatonic scale. I talked a little bit about this a few weeks ago. And then you could kind of alter that one too for like a minor 7 flat 5 sort of sound. I thought too today, I encourage your questions or comments, or welcome you to just kind of say hello out there. But I'm also hoping to find, some tunes and stuff folks are interested in. So just finished up the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. So I did a chord melody video on that. A lot later than I had hoped, but I had a bit of a cold, which still seems to be lingering, and that set me back a bit. And but anyway, I was able to get it out there, so hopefully, folks had a little bit of a chance to play with that one. And then I also did a melody video on it, melody only, which is quite a bit less challenging. So if you wanted to kind of get up and running, just have fun playing the tune, there's that one out there too. So also, I'll just talk about this year a little bit, as far as the studio goes and stuff. So got this kind of in studio. This is kind of my lesson room, and I do a little bit of recording and working on videos in this room. But this is something I've been wanting to get together for a while. It's just kind of an in-room sort of setup, kind of in addition to the other setup with all the camera angles and different things. So at the beginning of this year, YouTube made the YouTube memberships available for my channel, and that was just super exciting. So I kind of dove right into that, and oops, sensitive there. So and it was really good time, because I've been working on trying to get as efficient as possible at making videos. And since I'm really kind of interested in improvisation and just kind of playing and all that, I mean, in addition to recording, which is fun too, but I've been working on kind of getting the channel to a place where I could produce videos pretty quickly. I could set up lives pretty quickly and efficiently. So the whole YouTube membership kind of becoming available just kind of fit right in line with that, and so we released sometime in February this year. And it kind of ties into the channel as a whole. So it's all very tune based, and so that's where a lot of the videos that I put out are how to play this melody, or practice this melody and all that. And then so on the member side of things, where we're trying to work with some of those same tunes and see if we can dig in deeper, work on how to internalize and improvise, and get some of the foundation going behind it, so that folks can kind of work things out. And the channel additionally is it's kind of an extension of a couple things. So there's the private teaching side of it. So so if I'm working with a student on a particular tune, I might say, "Oh, this might work well as a video," and so I'll have sort of a supplementary aid for that, and and then if someone's taking lessons, like the whole live stream material that I'm doing like right now, and the member videos too. Um, it gives folks something to work on in between the lessons, and then they can come back with questions on things, and we can uh, work out the details, and then folks can kind of strengthen their playing. On another kind of level, it's a little bit of an extension of some things that I was doing. Um, um, when I started this channel, which was I had in addition to some other projects, of course, but I had a weekly uh, gig or a performance that I was doing in a hotel, playing solo guitar. And when I first started that whole project, I wanted to create some backing tracks and play a single line and lead in addition to chord melody and stuff. But so I got really heavily into recording and creating those tracks. So that kind of spilled into creating some of these reference videos where I play with like a rhythm section and so the recording side of things. So that's kind of the extension of that as well. So a little bit of some of the recording side of things and or performance side of things and teaching side of things. So it's let's do with that. And then also if I needed to learn a particular tune or something for one of the groups I've been involved with, I thought, well, do a video on that one, why not? And so that can kind of help folks out. So, but overall, it's kind of the effort to help folks get the same kind of enjoyment that I get out of the process of learning this instrument and this music and everything. So so helping out the kind of the community of guitarists and all that. I'm gonna check back in here on Facebook. I don't know how I wandered off into a different page, but hopefully everything is good there. Just check it out. Oh, I think I am. Okay, I just saw it. There we go. Okay, I am live. Things are looking good. I'm not sure how I got out of that studio space, but anyway, things are looking good. All right, so playing around with a little bit of blues there. So we've got a G chord. So the basis of this thing, kind of these three chords: the C chord, G chord, the D chord, and then you can create a lot of kind of variety to all that as well. But that's kind of the idea, and so I realized that folks are probably in all sorts of range of, you know, ability levels and strengths and everything. So so I'll just gotta throw out some things. They might help. They might be already known, but if you play a G13, let's say, and when you're, let's say, just about to go to let's say C9, let's say your goal is to go to this, then you could create a little bit of motion by lowering the 13. And notice these three tones might use different fingers, but those are going to go to there. Swap some fingers around. So it creates a half step kind of motion. So you get this, you get this, and then you get this. So another thing you could do is swap out the root note too. So you could say, okay, so you're on this G13, and then you play D flat 9, which, you know, shares these middle two tones with the G. And then I get that half step motion. That's kind of a cool sound. So, excuse me. So you can always stay. I think one of the choruses I stayed on the G for 4 bars. And so that's just kind of another sound of it. So that sounds that can be its own kind of thing. But when you go to bar 5, let's say, play this chord. You could also use this kind of diminished sounding chord after that. So you're gonna say, okay, C sharp diminished. Gives us a little more. Gives us a little motion going up. You could also play like a. So C, that's a 4 chord. Maybe go to F. Maybe go to F. And to A. Instead of something like a. That. So that brings up this this up here. So let's say you're playing G9. This kind of ties into what we were doing down here. Playing G9. Now think about where we're headed. So we're going to the C. Let's say C13. So you could use that kind of half step idea. So then you might say, okay, I'm gonna play G9, and then let's say you're getting like a beat away or something. from the C. So then you get this little motion there, half step motion with these tones, and then you could do the same thing with the root notes. You can say, make it a D flat 13 again, moving down a half step. So that's another little bit of a motion you can make there. Let me check in on any comments, questions. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. To get kind of back in this studio space on YouTube. Not sure what happened there. Just kind of bumped me out to a different page, but it looks like I'm still live. Don't quite know how to get back to that spot where the studio is, but I guess that's okay as long as it's up and running. So anyway, kind of there's a little bit of a mini lesson on some motions on the blues. So back to some updates and everything. So I've got a couple of ideas for maybe doing additional videos on some of the maybe more popular tutorials that I've done. So Spain has been really big. So I had a really good request for having maybe more notation on that one. So I went through a period where I just didn't do basically any notation. So I just did it all like on the screen, and I had that kind of guitar neck. So so I like that approach. But I agree that it could be helpful to have some notation. So maybe I'll make like one of those practice play-alongs for that. I'd like to get back into doing some more recording. I want to do some more. So looking forward to do this coming year, 2022. I'd like to get to do some more maybe creative, just kind of recording. I'm thinking about creating a channel for just kind of more like artistic endeavors, just kind of recording some things and improvising, maybe composing. I think that might be a little while out. So right now I'm kind of working a little bit on the foundation of sort of the teaching aspect of my efforts here. But if I get to a point where things are working well at a certain level, then I can maybe hire out some of the more some of the activities that need to be done, maybe video editing or mixing, mastering, or just like the day-to-day aspects of things. So that could free up some time to do some more recording. And I have some interest in creating maybe more backing tracks and things like that. That might be I might make them available on one of these streaming channels or something. And who knows, maybe eventually I will also have teachers, guitar teachers. Maybe I'll hire some guitar teachers for my studio in person, or maybe even online. See. So a couple things we'll talk about a little bit with like playing and improvising. One thing that you can kind of do, or anybody can do, is use repetition in your lines. Use something that the listener can kind of grab onto. So let's say you're playing like, say you end it like that, like, then you might repeat that kind of similar. So you might say, well, there's a little something that I did there. Maybe I will try to play that, again. I just got a message from one of our followers taking a couple messages back. Got to keep up with all these things on Facebook with all the different messenger and all that. So I had probably about a week or a week and a half where I just basically didn't pick up the instrument almost at all, but I did a little bit. I had to cancel a bunch of lessons and things, and a lot of folks are feeling under the weather and stuff. But so I hope everybody's kind of staying healthy out there. But so I'm always kind of talking. I think even just before that happened, I was always talking about like how everybody needs to practice, every day and keep things going. And on the flip side of that, sometimes it is good to take a week or take 2 weeks, have a fresh perspective. There's a little bit of a trade-off, I think on a physical level. The fingers are not operating quite quite as well as we'd like when we take a little time off. But sometimes gives you a little bit of fresh perspective and maybe things that maybe were becoming automated can lull us into some complacency and kind of remind ourselves to listen closely to what we're doing. Try to sing your lines out loud or internally in your mind. Make sure you're connecting sound wise to what you're doing. I think it might even too. I was thinking about this just maybe earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday. But I was just thinking about, as far as technique goes, it kind of maybe gives you an opportunity to, if you take a little bit of time, let's say you're busy during the holidays and you just kind of not getting on the instrument. So if you get a chance to sit down with it, you might have a little chance to slow down and get the fingers kind of cooperating with some of your training. So one thing I like to do, since I live stream a lot, or fairly often, I guess you could say, or even just record, if you have that, you feel like everything's kind of snapping into place, and for some reason, you get open string just kind of blares out in there and mid recording, and everything's just awesome except for that one thing. It's like, you can say, well, okay, wait, if you come back to the instrument a little bit and say, okay, well, I gotta make sure, like, I work on that string control a little bit, so that make some conscious effort. Say, okay, say this D string, how do you try to see if you can see, if you purposely like set it in motion, see if you can use the fretting hand to maybe stop it a little bit. So I think it can be an opportunity to get kind of back to some basics, slow down, and say, okay, I'm gonna really focus on playing really cleanly, clarity, and but that doesn't mean we can't like have a lot of different dynamics and ghost notes and play all that. You can really try to pick up the guitar and say, I'm gonna really try to make every note I play like it's just a different volume, just something different. Add some excitement into it. See if you can kind of swell and crescendo, decrescendo. It's amazing our perception of sound, and that you can really ghost notes as a musician, of course, and folks, even if it's inaudible or close to inaudible, every everyone who's ever heard music or um, enjoyed a song, has kind of a internal catalog of expected, phrases, like what note kind of tends to follow that. So the mind will kind of fill in um, some of those spaces. So we as musicians can kind of utilize that phenomenon. I think so. Give ourselves an opportunity to play with a pretty broad dynamic range. When you're a drummer, you can play really soft. You can play crazy loud. You can piano too, and saxophone, instrument. Guitar is a little bit hard for us, but we have amps and stuff. So try to get the amplifier and all that to kind of do that heavy lifting, and then see if you can really vary how much energy you put into plucking a tone, or how soft you can play just by even maybe not plucking and tapping. So we have kind of a wealth of information and tradition, for various techniques we can take from different folks. So many things that we can learn, and so much documentation too. So many recordings of, if you ever get a chance to see, it could be so many different folks. If you ever get a chance to see Stanley Jordan playing on like two guitars, playing Autumn Leaves and never plucking a tone, it's like, well, we may or may not want to go down that road of all that, really amazing development that he did. But we could say, oh, well, I can't tap a tune. I can't tap a note, Even if we don't even use the other hand, although we can kind of do that. Playing all here. I don't even know how he does all that, but anyway, we can take something like that on a very basic level and just say, oh, yeah, I could just tap a note, and that can become part of your phrasing, for example. A lot of things we can learn from guitarists, contemporary and from the past. Think about Django Reinhardt, and what his whole technical thing kind of taught us about what the hand itself is really good at. What it's, you could take two fingers. I don't know a lot about exactly all the details of the physiology involved with what his injury and all that, but it seems like that whole thing taught us that you can play like amazing guitar with like a couple of fingers, and what does that teach us about these two fingers in particular, and how you might start to think about what the strengths and weaknesses of each finger, because each one is kind of a little bit different. All right, so I apologize if I'm just kind of rambling on and going in a million different directions, but hopefully something can be gained from all this. I'm fairly confident that there is. But a quick hangout here on this Sunday, December 26th. I think probably a lot of folks are off doing various probably family gatherings or hanging out various places. But I hope everybody's staying safe out there and healthy. It's like there's a lot of flare-ups and all that going on with this viruses and stuff. It's just getting way too long. But I guess our community just kind of needs to hang in there and try to keep as many people as healthy as possible. Try to minimize any suffering. Try to do our part. So this is probably going to be the last live stream of this year, 2021. Who knows? Maybe I'll get on beforehand, but we'll see. I will be getting on. I do pretty regular live streams in the member area, so if you're a member, I will definitely be live streaming then. Plan to get back to my regular schedule. Videos and things on Monday. Planned this week to, it's kind of a light week. So I plan to hopefully catch up with just some things. And who knows, maybe I'll try to get a video out later this week. That'd be pretty awesome. So leave me a comment, something you're dying to learn, or I'm a little overdue to record myself playing something. I had planned to do that with Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, but it just didn't happen in time. everybody has a really great time with their guitars. Really great time just kind of being creative, having fun with it. And the more that we can learn, the more that we can do, and to both for ourselves, just internally, music does I think some really incredible things for the individual practitioner, if you will, and then I would encourage you to share your playing, if you aren't already, with some other folks, whether it's at a holiday party or out at a gig somewhere, or just kind of quietly strumming, playing something in the background as folks go about their day in the family and the home. So, I will see everybody pretty soon. Hopefully, I have another video out this week. I aspire to do so, and wish you all a happy and healthy holiday season. See you all in the next one.